We've been talking about using our imagination, and a few weeks ago we were creating some drawings of creatures, and now we're creating some creatures in clay. And you have a choice today as to whether to start a sculpture of a creature, which is just for looking at, or whether to create a creature cup, which is going to be a usable object. Last week we started our clay project by making a pinch pot, and we reviewed how to create a pinch pot by rolling a ball and then using your thumb and your fingers to press around the edge and to make a bowl. Today we're going to take that bowl, and if you'd like to do a creature cup, your bowl will be sitting up and you will be adding your features, your face, to the side of it here. If you want to create a sculpture like this of a creature, you would take your pinch pot and you would actually turn it on its side and kind of squeeze it down a little bit so that the pinch pot becomes the mouth. If you're going to create a sculpture on its side so that the pinch pot opening becomes the mouth, you're going to be adding features kind of to the edge of your creature, of the pot. One thing that I suggest is actually starting with the feet, because if you add your feet on, then it kind of helps you remember which side of the pot you're supposed to add your face to. So I'm going to take a couple pieces of clay and I'm going to roll them and just shape them. Remember, this is your creature, so you can create any kind of feet you like. The one thing I want to remind you is that we are creating forms and not shapes. So our pieces have to be thick or fat. They're forms. So I've got two little feet, and I've just kind of created some rounded shapes, and I could leave them like that. Or I could take my clay knife and I could make some cuts into the clay to maybe open those up and make some toes. Maybe I just want 2 toes. However you want that. I could even make 3 feet if I wanted to. It's my creature. If you want to add them to the creature who's just going to be the sculpture, then you're going to add them like this so that they come out from the bottom. And if you're going to add them to the clay cup, of course, your cup would rest on top of them. Either way, it's going to kind of tip a little bit. I like doing this because then you can see the face on this side. When you want to attach a piece of clay, we're using the scratch attach method. We looked at that last week, but I'm going to review that with you today. You need to scratch up the surface, and we're going to use either a fork or we're going to use a clay tool that has a little serrated edge. It's almost like a little rake. And you can do one or the other. You can just scratch up that surface. Wherever it's going to attach, I do the scratching. I'll use the fork on that one, and I'll go ahead and I'll use the little scratching rake on this one. All right, now I want to attach my clay cup or my pinch pot so that it's going upward. So I have to kind of like set it there so I know where to scratch. Then I lift it up. I know that I want to scratch down here. And it will tip up just a little bit, again, so that we can see that face. I want to give it a nice scratch surface. I have to add a little bit of water. So I'll go ahead and I'll just add water to these little pieces. And if you make both of them at the same time, it's kind of easy to put them in place. You just set them on the table, and then I'm just going to press those 2 scratched areas together. Press them nice and tight. You can pick it up. Make sure that those stick on. You have to scratch and attach or they will not stay. It'll look something like this. You can smooth the bottom if you'd like. You can even take a clay tool to smooth the bottom out. And your feet are attached. When you want to add the face is going to go right on the side of the pot like this. If you want to cut a mouth through the side, you literally make a little slit just to open that mouth up. You can even use a clay tool to kind of open it up a little bit. And again, that's where you might want to stick your tongue through. Okay, I've got my eyes on the side. On this one, have my eyes on the top. If you're adding something to the top of a clay piece, you want to make sure you're going to support it with your hand as you push them together. So if I want to add an eyeball, and I of course scratch to attach, I'll add that water. When I press it on, I have to put my finger underneath and inside the mouth so that the mouth doesn't smash down as I press. I'm using this hand to kind of push against this hand. Once it's stuck, you can always add your details. Maybe I'll give him some eyelashes. Maybe I'll make it a girl, creature, whatever you like. Use your imagination. You can even add things like wings. I've told other students you can take clay and flatten it. You can draw the wing onto the clay slab. If you have a design in mind, you can use your clay knife to cut that wing out. And again, you scratch and attach wherever you'd like it. So if you want the wing to come out the side there, you would scratch the surface, scratch this surface, dip it into the water, support it with your hands, press those two together. And that's how you scratch attach.